What's up, guys? Better late than never. I apologize. I had to finish something up that could not wait, and I am here. So I have cleared my calendar. I've cleared the next basically hour and a half to come to you and show you how to cut your time in half of what other wholesalers do to find the best wholesale deals. Yeah, I threw the word secret in there. You should call me the plate. You should put it in the comments because nobody should say, I'm going to share a secret in wholesaling, because if you understand, wholesaling's been passed down generation to generation. And for some reason, the most recent generation thinks they invented it. Now, they've got a lot more tools, and we're going to go over that today. But let me show you how to cut your time in half and actually how to find the best wholesale deals. As usual, we're going to talk about wholesaling and wholesaling only. Number one, you have the comment section. Make a friend. Find someone to pair up with wholesaling. Work with them. Make a friend. Make a connection. Number two, if you got a question, put it in the comment section. That is the best place to do it. And if we have time, we'll try to do some lives. I got a lot to go over with. So let's not waste any more time and let's get into it. So if you guys are new to the channel, I welcome to you. This is a channel about wholesaling real estate. I'm going to put up here. We have a free course that you can hop on, freewholesaling.com. The whole thing was just revamped, completely updated, modern for 2025. Number one, we don't sell a course. Number two, we don't give you outdated information. Number three, I test everything in our wholesale business of 23 years plus. So you don't have to figure out if it works or not, but you're going to have to take a massive amount of action. Freewholesaling.com, jump into that, get that going. So today, I thought I'd do this a little bit different. Part of my job with you guys is, number one, is to teach you wholesaling. But number two, I can't have you falling asleep. I can't have you getting bored. And so we have to do a little bit of storytelling and action at the same time. So if we can participate today and help out, I'm going to walk you through a bit of a fishing, how should I put it? A fishing story. So I love the outdoors, the boats. I love the ocean. And I want to show you how this equates in wholesaling and really bring in the title today, how to cut your time in half, show you the secrets on how to do it. So just like a wise old fisherman that I am, I'm going to show you a fishing tale. Now, my tale's true. That's the different story in this. So if you guys know a fisherman, if you have a dad that's a fisherman, you have a friend that's a fisherman, they stretch the truth. And we're not going to do that today. We're going to show you it. So what I want to do is with the iPad, because some of you I have learned, and through communicating with you, the more interactive we are, the more visual it is, the more the point sinks home. So I'm going to do my best today to communicate a entertaining fishing story. And here's what we're going to do. I'm going to tell you exactly what we're going to do with today's live stream. You make a decision if you want to hang around and do it. Number one, we're going to do a fishing analogy of wholesaling today in modern. I'm going to show you, I'm also going to talk about back in the day when fishing, you know, people tell you how they tell you wholesaling was so easy 20 plus years ago. I'm going to let you relate to that because I had the exact same challenges you guys have today. I just, compared to today, it seems like a wonderful experience, and I'll show you how to do it. So I'm going to show you the fishtail of how wholesaling used to be. I know a lot of you guys have visions, but it's really important if you understand the difference of this one. What has really changed in the last 20 plus years of wholesaling? I'm going to show you, it's not just technology. Technology is a given, but I'm going to show you the key fundamental differences that we have to deal with as a wholesaler today that I didn't have to deal with back in the day. And if you know this and you arm yourself with it, it's much easier to go forward with your wholesaling operations. And here's the most important part. I'm going to teach you the difference between fishing and catching. Let me repeat that. I'm going to teach you the difference between fishing and catching. Anybody can fish. You can go to, like the old saying, go to Walmart, go get their tackle buster special. It'll have a tackle box, it'll have a rod and reel, and it'll have some lures in it. And it's already tied up and ready to go, and you can go fishing. You ain't going to get very far, but you checked off the box, I'm going fishing. So if you've ever gone fishing with your dad, or if your mom took you, my grandma used to take me fishing. God rest her soul. One of the most amazing experiences, one of the reasons why I talk about it so much today, is you can go fishing. Fishing is wonderful. It's a great way to communicate with kids. It's a great way to get away from your cell phones. It's a great way to connect with Mother Nature. But guys, we've got to go out and learn how to go catch. So everybody fishes, very few catch. I'm going to show you how this works in wholesaling, because it's true today. There's so many people wholesaling. So wholesaling is your fishing, okay? Everybody's fishing. Here's the reality. Who's catching? Catching is getting signed contracts from motivated sellers. So I'm going to show you the difference between fishing and catching. Everyone's doing fishing. Very few people are doing catching because they don't have the right strategy, the right skill set to move forward. And we'll show you how to do that. And I'm going to show you how to fish, mainly find motivated sellers. Make sure you're fishing in the right spots, right? I'm going to show you the fishing gear you're going to need today. And I tell you what, I'm going to do one extra special thing. If you stay till the end, I promise you it'll be worth it. And here's what I'm going to do. As a reward to you guys, I'm going to give you guys 2,000 code violations in the state of Ohio. And then I'll show you pretty much how you can get them in any state. I'll show you what the link is to get to it. It won't cost you a dime, and you'll be better off for it knowing that. So if you guys are okay, I know I'm running a little bit behind today, but I won't cut this short. I'll make sure we go through this. Let's dive in. Let's figure out how to cut our time in half to get the best wholesale deals. And let's truly learn the difference between fishing, which is wholesaling, and catching, which is actually getting deals caught. Get them in your net, get them clean, get fed with it, and do it over and over again. So if you guys, now here's the catch on this. I need 100 likes. And to 100 likes, I'll let you guys do this the hard way. It's going to take you weeks, if not months, to figure out this code violation information. I can just hand it to you. So if you can spread the word to smash that like button, obviously make sure you are subscribed to our channel, because we don't talk theories in wholesaling. We show you actually how to go out and do it. And today's been a super, super busy day. One of the reasons I'm running behind, but that's not my excuse. That's just a fact, because I'm a busy wholesaler and I love what I do. Remember, I've been doing this 23 years. We all have to start somewhere. Today, I'm going to show you how to get started. So that being said, let's hop in here. Make sure you do those likes, guys. I promise you at the end, if I click and look at that button, it's there. I'll show the exact link, and then I'll show you how you can get it. Not only in Ohio, I'll show you how to get all around the country for the ones that are available. So let's do this. So we're at 7, guys. We got a long way to go. So you got an hour and a half to figure it out. So let me take this banner off so we get rid of some distractions. So guys, all the information I'm going to show you is actually in freewholesaling.com, but we're going to go through and we are going to learn today. So put your questions in there. And when I ask you questions, if we can make this interactive, it helps you guys learn, helps you connect the dots. So you're actually doing something. You're not just sitting here in the classroom, because I don't know about you. When I sat in the classroom, I could not pay attention long enough. I would fall asleep. I thought everything was kind of boring. And so I'm aware of it. I'm an ADHD kid. So we want to make sure we know what we're doing. So let's talk about, let's jump back in time. Let's jump back to like 2005. I was doing this 2 years before, but I remember 2005 kind of like it's yesterday. And the reason is, it's not to brag and go, okay, here's how it was in the olden days when we went fishing, wholesaling. I want to teach you this to show you the fundamental difference that you're dealing with today, that a long time ago we didn't have to deal with it. And you've got to understand there's always going to be changes in wholesaling, because everything changes. If it doesn't change, you're not alive. So stop complaining about the change and just find a way to embrace it to get wholesaling done. So here's what I'm going to do is we have to understand, first of all, how wholesaling worked back then. So, and once again, I did not take an art class. It's very evident. I definitely did not have the handwriting skills. So I was very happy when computers came out. But let's just start off. And so we're fishermen. Let's do this. Let's start off with just a lake. What we'll do is lake, canal, pond, whatever you want to call it. Actually, you know what? That's not going to be big enough. Here we go. Oh, let me share the screen. You're right. Sorry. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to draw. Actually, here we go. Now I'm going to put up here 2005. And this is important we understand. And back then, if you think about this, what was the requirement to be a wholesaler back then? Like, what were the skills needed? Let's just talk about that. And let's just start with a graphical representation first. Now, I'm going to draw a boat. Maybe you guys can give me some artist suggestions. It ain't going to be pretty, but we have to do it. So the first thing I'm going to do is let's put our motivated sellers in X. Okay. And I just want to give you a visual of what wholesaling really looks like. And the wholesalers are going to be in boats here. Yeah, I know it's bad. I don't know how to draw a boat. I know how to fish in a boat. I just don't know how to draw a boat. And we have wholesalers surrounding the motivated sellers. And by the way, when I started back in 2003, it seemed like a sea of just endless wholesalers. So we have whatever you want to call it, Lake Kawasui or whatever. Hopefully you guys can see my screen. I should have asked. So awesome. Okay, everybody can see it. Perfect. So back then, I'm going to show you something that's very interesting. Is I'm going to draw, we can call it a moat or a fence. And this is surrounding the lake. And really back then, you have to understand, wholesaling wasn't overly widely known. It was very pocket kept. And there was very, very little information about it. So if you wanted to get in wholesaling back in the day, you really had to make a bold choice. Because I'm going to tell you, it took guts to do it in early 2000. There was very little information. It was a good old boys club. You had to be part of the fishing community. And if you didn't, it was very hard to get in. The barriers of entry, in my opinion, were actually kind of hard because you just didn't know what you were doing. So here's what you really had to do. You had to be okay doing trial and error. And back then, people committed. They were okay going 6 to 12 months with making no money. You had to commit because there was no testing and getting in and out. You wouldn't know at least till 6 months if it was even going to be profitable. And you knew if you quit in a month or two, you probably were never going to make it. It was just a different mindset back then. People were much more committed. I believe because it was such a smaller community and it was harder to get information and it was really, really tough. And then there was a huge learning curve. Why? Because you had no idea what you're doing. And then this is where I'm actually going to give gurus props. Okay. Back then, we'll just call them a guru or a mentor, were very expensive, but for the most part, the value was actually there. Now, when I got started in wholesaling, it was between $15,000 and $25,000 to find someone to teach you wholesaling. And honestly, They weren't overly excited to teach you. Um, there wasn't all these crazy websites. It wasn't all the marketing you guys deal with now. And I will tell you, it was probably worth it back then if I have to go back in time to do it. Period. Now, I didn't do it. I did all the things without the guru. So if I could do it back then, don't even worry about it. It's a piece of cake now because obviously it's a lot more information for you. Now, what you have to understand is these are the wholesalers. And there's still more wholesalers, in my opinion, than there was motivated sellers. Let's up our graphic here. So is everybody kind of getting the picture here? This is how it was. Now, let's talk about our sellers, our motivated sellers. This is what we were dealing with back then. It was commonly known that you had to work with a realtor to get a value on your home. In fact, it was the only way. There was no Zillow. There was no Xleads. There was nothing. There was no Redfin. There was no Realtor.com. You had to have a connection with a realtor. They had the whole thing completely monopolized. And so if you wanted to do a value, you either had to pull up the county records, look at the most recent sales, which MLS did that for you at the time, or you had to do what like I did. I had to go to a realtor and form a connection with them and come up with a deal to work with them. That was it. You didn't have a choice. And the homeowners didn't have a choice either. So most of them were not educated on the value of their home. And nobody really looked at their home as like this major asset where they're going to make a ton of money. On average, they probably go up between 1% and 3% a year. And by the time you did the math of what you put in your home, what you bought it for and sold it for, it was not considered a monstrous investment. In fact, most people's personal houses, if you get down to the numbers of what they bought it for, what they sold it for, minus all the upgrades, everything they did, outside some of the recent event in the last 5 years, houses aren't as big as an investment as you guys think. Now, the problem is the dollar goes down in value, and to buy new materials for a house, that's what really drives the appreciation on a house. It's not like we're just smarter than everybody else. That's just the truth. And so what did homeowners, their perceived value of their house? Well, let's just compare it to precious metals. And it was like a copper value. Copper's worth something, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it. And then basically lack of info, and they just weren't sure. Now, here's the difference is they made much faster decisions. Why? Because they didn't have a lot of data. And here's what happens, guys. When people have too much data, it's hard to make a decision. You ever feel overwhelmed? You get so much data. They would look this stuff over, talk to a realtor 9 times out of 10, see what their neighbors sold their house at, and they would make a decision to sell the house. And either they list it with a realtor or they would find a cash buyer. Now, finding a cash buyer back in the day was not a super easy thing for them to do. The most important thing you have to understand is they could not figure out values, which you know where we are today. And they didn't look at their home as an investment. People just sold it. Okay. So I want you to remember this right here, guys. Let me take this off here. That's 2005. So let's jump to 2025. And what I'd like you to guys comment, I'm going to go through and give you a little bit different graphical representation. And then I want you to tell me, we're going to start off, what do you think the requirements for a wholesaler in 2025? And we can have fun with this, but it's the absolute truth. And then we'll compare the two together, and then we'll show the analogies, how we can move forward and how we can cut our time in half, learning how to fish and learning the difference between fishing and catching on which pond to get into. So if we understand that, let's jump to 2025. 2025. So we'll do the same thing. we call this Wholesale Lake. It's a great lake. I've been fishing it for 23 years. And then let's just do the same thing here. Now, what you guys got to understand, there's actually more motivated sellers now. We just can't see them. Why? Because the population's grown. There's much more real estate. But I do agree. I wasn't born yesterday. The amount of wholesalers out there, we've never had as many as we have in 2025. And I'm going to tell you why that's good and bad at the same time. Yes, these are boats. I apologize. I'm not a graphical guy. I'm going to keep adding. Now, if you have suggestions to add this graph, let's go with it because it's interactive. And remember, guys, these are wholesalers. And it's important we understand how this works. You guys get the picture. Now, let's talk about what are the requirements for a wholesaler to get started, to get them up and running. And you've got to understand, more importantly, what motivates most people to get started in wholesaling now? Like, what is it that we, oh, sorry, duh. There we go. So we are in 2025. And honestly, I mean, you feel like there's wholesalers everywhere. But this is not a fair representation of what it was back in 2005. So what do you think the requirements are for what gets somebody in the wholesaling right now? Because you got to understand, back in 2005, I told you had to make a bold choice because there was not a lot of information, and you had to go in with everything you had. And you weren't going to be able to test it. You weren't going to ask Zach and Rick, is this going to work? How do I do this? How do I close that whole person? And then, so let's face it. People watch TikTok. They do YouTube shorts. And people are making very quick decisions to get into wholesaling. I promise you this is going to translate. You'll understand this. And then once you get into it, what do we have going on today that Rick suffers from? We have short attention spans. It's like we're feeding into ADHD, assuming everybody has it. And so everybody's trying to grab your eyeballs. And then that leads us to basically guru mentor galore. But here's the difference. I told you back in the day, a guru was as long as they were doing wholesaling and they would show you how they did it, they were actually worth it. I think they were worth every penny back then. Why? There was very few. And only the top people rose to the top. Here's the problem with gurus today. You get people with less than 3 months experience teaching you how to do stuff. And you guys can't tell if someone's legit or not. Everybody copies each other. It's overwhelming. And I look back at, if I had to start in wholesaling today, the minute you click on one of these ads, because you go to TikTok, a YouTube short, you get into someone's YouTube channel, which is great. But the benefit of having so much technology available to you, the downside is it's hard to tell who's real and who's not. And a lot of you get sucked in this circular cycle. It's like, I'm going to try this. I'm here to tell you right now, most of the stuff being taught for wholesaling, it's not even wholesaling. It mimics wholesaling, but it's not wholesaling. So let's finish on the graphic representation. You ready? But here we go. But then we got all these other boats coming into the lake. They're all waiting at the launch ramp, right? Look at them all. I mean, this goes on forever. And they're all coming in because they got super excited. And some are actually crossing into the lake. And hey, all these are going this way, right? And then here's the problem. These people that are floundering, that are fishing, remember, they're fishing. They're going which way? They're going like this. And they're leaving. Like, you know what? It's not what they told me it was going to be. It was a lot more work. I thought it was going to be super easy and I can make a ton of money doing. And I want you to notice this, guys. There is no fence or moat around this lake in 2025. In fact, it's been utterly destroyed. Anybody can teach you wholesaling. You have no idea if they have experience level. Everybody shoots like why did a fancy car, how does that equate to success? Don't get me wrong. I want people to win and buy whatever they want. But if you're young and you're buying cars, it's not a flex. It's an admission of liability of I buy things that depreciate and I use it to attract you so I can keep buying things like that. You've got to avoid this stuff, guys. I'm never going to flash it. My car is so boring you'd fall asleep on it. A car is just a vehicle to get me to point A, point B. I get no pleasure out of my car. I don't like cars. The minute I buy it, it goes down in value. And if every photo I showed you had a car involved with it, how am I going to help you wholesaling doing that? That's called being super flashy, and it doesn't help anybody else in it. Now, here's the problem is, this is crazy. Do you see all the people coming into wholesaling as fast as they leave? There's 10 more replacements coming in behind them. And that's the big challenge. So let's talk real quick about the sellers. What's changed with motivated sellers since 2005? I'm glad you asked. And it's simple. They are armed with info. They've got Zillow. They've got Realtor.com. They have all the technology tools to say what? If I told you that we equate their perceived value to precious metals, which metals does every seller think their house is worth? What do you guys think? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, there it is. Sorry about that. Everybody can see it. Sorry about that. The perceived value, ready for this? It's gold. So in 2005, it was copper. Now everybody thinks their house is like just $1 million. Oh my God, everybody wants it. And here's the reality of what's going on here is they have more people chasing them than ever. And if I ever told you about the story of the dog, like I used to let my dog out the backyard and I'd wait 5 minutes and let him do his business, try to come back in. And he just thought it was the cutest thing to play. I go out and chase him. And I found out the further I chased him in the yard, the further he went away. And then one day I just said, I'm sick of this. I went back, I shut the screen door. The minute he snapped, he's like just sitting there like, let me in, please. And I'm telling you, the harder you chase these people, the more their perceived value is their house is worth it's gold, maybe. It's gold. And so they have so much info. They struggle making decisions. So think about this. If you get too much information, it really slows, like people feel like they're going to make more of a mistake and they hold back. So it's the same thing on both sides. If you look at the sellers and you look at the wholesalers today, if we really look at the difference here, guys, and a lot of this has to do with technology. Now, we know all realtors mostly hate wholesalers. That's not my theory. That's fact. And if we really look at the difference of these two, when we do it, so what has really, really changed is wholesalers have less of a commitment than ever, but so do motivated sellers. That's the point I want you to understand doing this. But I will also tell you this. Oh, I got to move it. Sorry about that. Is you got to understand this. This part, you have to grasp is you got to understand that Sellers need help. So listen, they have the, do you think their problems are any different today than they were back in 2005? They're not. They've actually gotten worse. People's money has eroded to the point where they've treated their house like a piggy bank. In the old days, nobody treated their house like a piggy bank. It was very hard to refi. It was very hard to get a HELOC. But now let's think about, what do they get now? What do they get now? They get, oh, hold on, guys. Let me pop this off. I don't know why it's, I don't know why it's not sharing. Hold on. Let me switch this and let's do this. Huh. Well, I'm just going to keep drawing up there. They do HELOCs and refis. Just bear with me. I got to refresh this. They do refis and HELOCs like I've never seen before. Back in 2005, they didn't do any of this stuff. And so if you understand this, you can grasp like what's going on here. So we talked about the short attention span on both sides. You have to be extremely aware of it. I'm looking at your comments while I do this. It's my ADHD kicks in because it's hard to write and do all the technology and everything like that. So let me scroll over here. So now we have to go. Let's talk about the difference between fishing and catching. Very important. Huge difference. So if you've, let me know in the comments, you ever gone fishing and never caught anything? That's the biggest problem we have in wholesaling. That's the biggest problem we have in wholesaling. So I'm going to draw this super fast and put it on the screen because it's just easier. And I'm going to talk you through it and then I'll just show it to you because here's what's going on. So 90, if you wanted to get 95, who do you think controls 95% of the real estate market? Not controls it, but basically dominates it. That's the word. It's simple, guys. It's going to be realtors. So we're on Lake Wholesale. And while you're on Lake Wholesaling, here's what most people do. Let's talk about fishing. Now we're going fishing. I'm going to show you the huge difference in wholesaling. So if we're going fishing, and put that up there. We're on Lake Wholesale. We're going to go fishing. If I'm going to take, I want 95% of the deals, right? So what do? Don't worry, fresh. I'm going to do MLS, right? I might do creative financing, which I love, but it's not a wholesale strategy by itself. Let me ask this. Maybe you do novations. I can pay them more. Then I don't have to wholesale, right? And then you can do some of the traditional stuff like FSBOs. And then we can do expired listings. And let me know, guys, in the comments, let me know, do you guys do all these things right now? Are you in Lake Wholesaling and are you doing all the stuff I described on there? Are you reaching out to real estate agents? You're going on MLS and you like, let's just be brutally honest. I'm not saying you can't get a deal doing this. I'm just saying, I think you might be in the wrong lake. I can tell you guys, I've gone fishing all the time. If I'm in a spot where there's no fish to catch, I am just fishing. I'm not making any progress. So that's the reality of what you're doing. And what do all these have in common? They want to sell, which is the same thing as fishing, in my opinion. Does everybody understand that? If you understand that, let me ask you, do you want to go fishing or do you want to go catching? It is a fundamental difference in wholesaling. And if you can't grasp this concept, you can't do it. The reason I'm using the fishing analogy is we have to put it all together so we can go from fishing to catching. Everybody's fishing watching this live stream. Yeah, it is a strange terminology when you think about the internet with you think about catfishing and stuff like that. But the reality is we're all fishing. So how do we translate from fishing to catching? And that is the question we want to answer on this live stream. So I'm going to, so you notice we did 95% up here. I got to get you into 5% where we can actually show you how this is going to work. Now, how do I find the 5%? Number one, go over to freewholesaling.com. Everything I'm going to show you, I'm going to go through this really quick because we only have so much time, but we got to stop fishing in this big giant pond. This is where everyone's going to sell me a course. This is where they're going to make it sound like it's super easy. You can't fail here. You're going to make so much money. Guys, pull the covers back and wake up. That all this stuff in the middle here. Hold on. I got to get your attention. Like Tony Robbins, get up, jump, shake down. All this stuff, it's just distractions. It's going to keep you super busy, and busy means broke. You might want to write that one down because I learned that the hard way after 3 years in wholesaling. Do you want to be busy or do you want to be catching? If busy means broke and catching means your bank account's full, you need to get clarity on where you're going with wholesaling. All this stuff that I put on here, it's not wholesaling, guys. It never was. We were never taught these techniques back in 2003. Occasionally, we got a deal from a realtor. It's someone that we forged the relationship. I've called thousands of realtors. It's a lot of work. You don't speak their language, and they're going to discount you because you're a wholesaler right off the bat. So how do I go out and find that 5%? Perfect. We got to get out of this giant pond. The reason you guys do it is everybody here is fishing. Very, 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 very tiny amount of them are catching. And if you understand that, I can give you a fish or I can teach you how to catch a fish. You want to start, go to freewholesaling.com. So what we need to do is simply this, guys. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go in. Hold on. I'm going to draw it and then I'll put it up on the screen. I don't know why it's not feeding, but it is what it is. Now, these are what I call kind of ponds. So a lake is big, a pond is small. And then basically, so you understand, we need to find the niche in wholesaling. If we find the niche, we can find the gold in wholesaling and we can start catching. So do you want to be fishing or do you want to be catching? I always play around my buddies. I'm like, did you catch anything today? No, we went fishing. Fishing's great. It's a great conversation, but dang, it gets boring. And I want to show you how to catch. So most people in here are just fishing. And let's just be brutally honest. You've got to figure out how to switch. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to write them out and pop them up on that. So we do the eviction list. We do the foreclosure. We do the tax delinquency. That's niche number one. I'm just going in, just showing you. Driving for dollars and then reverse driving for dollars. That's 2. And we keep on going down here. We do fire damaged. We do water shutoffs. If you guys were on my live stream on Monday, actually last night, I showed you how to do garage sales for wholesaling. It's a great niche, works very well. The best way to connect with seasoned landlords, in my opinion, like hands down, easy one. We can do, we also talked about digital bandit signs last night. I touched about ghost comments, bandit comments. You can call them, we call them interchangeably. We talk about probates. Last night, I even talked about what sheriff sales, showed you how to get them and what's the point of them. You don't wait till the auction. You got to get them on that list and you got to like solve people's problems. And then we kind of go up to this one. We're going to do title companies. We're going to do estate sales. And we're going to do property management companies. Yeah, property management companies. Check this out. You can actually talk to realtors that manage crappy rentals for really bad landlords, and you got a much better shot of catching something than fishing. Guys, the difference, you've got to understand this. I want you to look at this. This right here, my friends, is called catching. It means you have a shot. It might be a small deal, it might be a huge deal, but I promise you, do you want to fish in this pond so you can start catching, or do you just want to go fishing? And what I find in most people in wholesaling, because the information is so out there and everybody thinks they have it figured out, there's no barriers to entry, is everyone gives you some sort of strategy. Here's the reality, guys. It's a strategy to sell you a course to go fishing. Look at it right here. If you're doing these, hold on, let me put it back up here. I gave you the wrong screen on that one. Oh, that's right. The stuff in blue, which I put in red, that's catching. All the other stuff in black, it's fishing. Let me ask you this on this live stream. Which ones are you guys doing? If you're just fishing, you're going to struggle in wholesaling. Let me show you the fundamental difference. I'm driving a point home and I want you to connect here. So what is the difference between fishing and catching? It's simple, guys. It's simple. I'm going to draw it. Ready for this? Catching. Here we go. You know what catching is? Well, let's do a different color. Well, who cares? Actually, let's do this. Think about this lake, okay? We're on Lake Wholesale. And here's the reality is, everybody in here is fishing. Okay? All fishing means is, ready for this? It means they want to catch a fish. So everybody wants to sell a house does what? They want to sell the house. What we need to do is we need to go find the places where we're catching. You guys realize fish move around in a lake. They move around everywhere. So if I truly want to catch a fish, come on, that's a good fish graphic. You know it is. Do catching. So let me ask you, the fundamental difference between fishing and catching is need. Avoid the people that want to sell a house. Find the people that need to sell the house. Most of you are failing in wholesaling because you're using strategies that only sell courses. They don't convert to actually catching great wholesale deals. And it gives people the stuff to talk about. Talk's cheap, guys. At the end of the day, we have to find deals. And guys, if you think you're going to outsource your marketing and let a third party do it, go for it. I promise you'll be back at freewholesaling.com. There's no way around it. Now, here's the good news. I can show you right now how to increase your odds massively to find wholesale deals. And if you don't find wholesale deals, you're usually fishing in the wrong lake. Period. End of story. Guys, I remember I got lost in 2006, about 3 years after I got wholesaling. You know why? Because I tried all these ridiculous strategies and they barely converted. They drove me crazy. And I just went back to the fundamentals of wholesaling. So what we have to learn is, what are we really looking for? So let me ask you this, guys. If you're going to go fishing, are you better off with a fish finder that locates the fish underwater? or you rather just kind of go blindly and go, I'm just going to call a bunch of agents on MLS and eventually I'm going to catch a fish? You have to make a decision. What are we looking for? So, do you want a fish finder or not? Absolutely. So, let's show you how to do the fish finder. this is my humorous attempt at trying to draw it, but I'm trying to drive a point home here. So you got 3 dials on your fish finder. If you only had 3 dials to set your fish finder to catch a wholesale deal, what are the 3 that you would do? And it's real simple, guys. It's right there. The first one's O. They got to be off market. If it's on market, you are chasing the entire world and you're going to have to bid yourself out of a deal. Sorry, that's just how it works. The next one, we're going to set it at D. And D just stands for direct to seller. Why? Because the only way you're going to get a relationship and connect with someone and be authentic and earn their trust is by going direct to seller. Now, keep in mind, we said earlier that sellers have so much information, it's hard to connect with them. This is why it's so critical you're direct to seller, because your deal most likely is going to fall apart without it. I know the realtors they're representing the highest price in the transaction. Some realtors care about, for the most part, they want to get the highest commission possible. So this is why you want to be direct to seller. Now, the third one is, which we talked about earlier, is basically needs to sell. Now, one of the biggest questions I get, now, if you get all 3 of these, you ready for this? If I got all 3 of these, you're gold. I guarantee you're getting a great wholesale deal. Now, Rick, what's the criteria? What if I get 2 out of the 3? You have a great shot. They're not guaranteed, but you have a great shot. And if you solve the seller's problem and you win their trust by building a relationship, you most likely are going to get a great wholesale deal. Rick, well, what if I only get 1 out of the 3? Let's explore this for a second. So guys, try it. 1 out of the 3. I'm direct to seller, but it's on market and they just want to sell. 1 out of the 3 is pretty much the kiss of death. It is just a fact. If you guys know how to set your wholesale compass and set your wholesale deal finder, you're going to find deals. But most of you are all, like, you haven't even read the manual. You're like all over the board on the settings. And this is why you're getting killed in wholesaling, because you don't even know where to look for a deal. Most of you are just looking haphazardly. I'm going to do MLS. I'm going to do expired. I'm going to do FSBOs. I'm going to reach out to all these people. Guys, freewholesaling.com. Show you how to get it done. Most people, they don't even, like, we go back to 2005, you knew you were wholesaling. There was never a doubt in mind. And now I find in 2025, if I meet with 100 wholesalers, if 10 or 15 of them are actually doing it, I'm impressed. And what do I mean by doing it? Meaning they're not talking to people who want to sell the house. They're working so hard to find the people that need to sell the house, off market, direct to seller, and they hit it out of the park by doing that. The ones that flounder, they usually quit very fast. If we go back to the original graphical representation, it falls apart quick. Because here's the truth of it, guys. I forgot to drive this point home to you. Let me put this back up here. I'm going to go back. So we have our 2025 representation. We're here right now in wholesaling. The one thing that you have to ever understand is, like, how do I beat most wholesalers out there today? You go all thinking you got to run the same marathon and do it. Here's the reality is, most of these people are running a sprint. You got to run a marathon. Most of these wholesalers are average or below. Why? Here's the reality, guys. If you look, they got in on some sort of short TikTok thing. Someone showed them really cool. We made a ton of money. I spent 5 minutes wholesaling. They make quick and rapid decisions based on how they feel that day. Their emotions and their feelings rule their life. They instantly buy in the guru's courses or guru's gimmicks, and they get frustrated when it doesn't work out. and they found out the guy or gal has only done like less than 10 deals, less than 3 months experience. And what do? They quit. You know why? Because they try wholesaling. And let me ask you this. How well do you think you're going to do at a business if you're just going to try it? Why don't you just go try the insurance business? Why don't you just go try the car business? You could try anything. Try is one of the weakest words you can have in the vocabulary. And the difference between now is people are they're barely coming in the wholesaling, not trying. But the problem you're experiencing is if you look at this, these people going from left to right, they keep flowing in the wholesaling. Guys, the average wholesaler you're dealing with is so bad. If one person yells at them, I quit, I can't do this, this is too frustrating. Wholesaling is designed to be a grind by its nature. You're doing that very small niche market. And the people that service that market the best will be rewarded the most. The ones that give up and cry and go, I can't do it, it's too hard, Rick. Get out. I don't give a crap. It's just the truth. You see, they can't tell you that in a course, but me and Zach can tell you right to the camera. Guys, I've had a lot of brutal times in wholesaling. Here's the only difference is I didn't quit. So what I'm trying to drive my point home and let you understand here is if you're going to come into wholesaling today, you've got to make sure you're all in. If you're just going to dabble your toes in it, you've already failed. It's like trying to work out. If you haven't worked out in a long time, it sucks. It's painful. It hurts. It consumes a lot of time. It creates a lot of self-doubt in you, but you have to go through it to get it. Wholesaling is no different. We've just made it so much easier with the information. And the last one we're going to talk about is technology, because this one we really got to kind of dive into them, and we have to go. Guys, if we get some likes, if you want this cheat code on the code violations, I've got almost 200 people here right now. Just click the damn button. It's not hard. If I can't get you to click a like button, don't worry about wholesaling. We got bigger problems. So here we go. Let's jump in and let's talk about technology. And then we're going to tie this whole thing together. I promise you. Here we go. You ready? So what is required to be a wholesaler now? Like, what are the tools? So I'm talking about, remember I told you I was going to teach you about the tools you need to go and be successful at fishing versus catching. So we all know we need a fishing rod, a tackle box, and typically you're going to need a net, right? I see a lot of nets still in there. They still got the wrappers on them and stuff. That means you're fishing, you're not catching. Okay. My net is an assignment of contract. My net are my code violation list. All that stuff helps me in catching. So most of you guys are going out there with tools that just help you fishing. You buy all these courses and some of it's good information. You don't do anything with it. A lot of it's bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like let's just not sugarcoat it. But you're still like, if say I bought a course and I paid a fortune and it didn't work out, use it as fuel to double down on wholesaling. And if you're going to cry and quit because somebody took a bunch of your money and you didn't do anything, maybe the real problem is a little bit more you than the person you hired. Maybe you shouldn't be so gullible to buy these packages. Think about this. If I sold you a course on how to cut your marathon time in half by reading my book, no marathon runner is ever going to do that because they know it's an impossibility. So why do you guys buy like these courses for like these quick cash bucks? You want to get rich, you got to do it in the long run in wholesaling. There's no overnight getting rich. It's all a fabricated lie. All these fancy cars and the houses, it's a joke. Like that's just a distraction. And it's used to bait you in to do something you probably wouldn't do if you didn't see it. That's why you'll never see it from me. People can do whatever they want and God bless them for it. And I do appreciate nice stuff, but like, I'll wait a year or two. I could get so like, I always want the property, the real estate to pay for my assets. I never do it the other way around. The worst thing you do is take an assignment fee and go buy a fancy car, especially you guys starting out. Invest it in an asset that will pay you for the rest of your life and then let that pay for the car, the boat, the RV, whatever you want. So let's talk about the fishing gear we're going to need. We're going to talk about the tools to catch. Okay, so if we're talking about catching, I'm going to show you the easiest ways, and we're talking about motivated sellers. So the first thing you obviously are going to need is going to be a cell phone. I don't know how you can do it without it. And then a computer would be ideal. And I get it. A lot of them are interchangeable in your cell phones now. I got to tell you, I think my phone is smarter than my computer. And I'm the type of guy who holds on to computers forever. Zach's always like, you got to get another computer. All my passcodes, everything's in it. I like my computer because I'm comfortable with it. But we got like 10 or 12 sitting around in the office. So it's crazy. So the next thing I would do if I want to go out catching today in 2025, the next thing I'm going to do is basically I'm going to go get a software. Why? Because in the old days, I would have hired a VA. And I got to tell you, VAs are being outsourced faster than ever because of the tools that we can connect with people and do it. So, I'm biased, but I would tell you to go out and get X leads, and I'll show you why. But here's what your softwares have to do. If it's X leads or anybody else software, and there's plenty of great softwares out there, go out there and find the best value for you so you can find one to get it going. Guys, keep hitting those likes because I'm going to get to the end here, and I might have to wait till Thursday to give it to you. So it's completely up to you guys. So what does your software have to do? I will tell you right now, if your software doesn't do what I do, you might want to reconsider because the world has changed in wholesaling software. Number one, if you're using multiple softwares to do all the stuff I'm doing, please wake up and save yourself the aggravation. One of the reasons we created XLeads, I was tired of having 9 or 10 different credit card charges, all on different dates, all of different amounts. I didn't know if I was coming or going. It's absolutely insane the amount of windows you have to have open. So you want to find one. What I like about XLeads is it's just one price and does everything. But here's the criteria for the list. You have to pull your marketing list on it. What do I mean by that? If you're going to pull your high equity leads, your vacant leads, anything like that, do it in your software. Make it to where you could do it. A team member, if you hire a VA, if you got a business partner, someone should be in charge of pulling the list. I love pulling lists. It's a lot better than doing like a PPL or something like that because you can laser target your criteria, the price points, the location, the filters, how many years have they owned it? Remember with PPL and PPC, it's wherever the lead lands. And if you're not geared to do virtual wholesaling all over the country, you're going to be throwing your money out the window, and I don't want you to do that. So how do you do it? Take control. Pulling list, your prospecting list or your suspect list is one of the keys in catching the best wholesale deals. It will never change. And you got to be able to pull the most. Also, look at your volume on your list. And if you have less than 15,000 pulls, you need quantity. So if I'm going fishing, I need as much bait as humanly possible. If I only got like one little piece of shrimp and I got to cut it in tiny little pieces, I'm probably not going to be very effective. What if you had 15,000 motivated seller leads? That's a lot of shrimp. Hope you guys aren't allergic to shrimp. So 15K. Now, the next thing is, obviously it has to be able to comp properties in a click of a button. And I wanted to do it one more for you. Ready for this? I wanted to tell you what a target wholesale price is. Ready? Now, the next thing you have to understand is it has to have built-in follow-up, mainly a CRM. You have to have some type of CRM. Yes, you can get by with Google Sheets in the beginning, but what I want in your CRM is I want automation. And I want automation plus AI. Why? Because after you do this for a few months, you're going to have thousands of leads. If you think you can physically send an email, a text, send a phone call, you're crazy. And how do you track it? So 70% of your deals come from follow-ups. You have to have a robust follow-up system. There's no excuse in 2025 if you don't have a great follow-up system. You're missing the boat if you don't do that. But let's keep going. Here's a big one, guys. You ready for this? Skip tracing. How much are you guys paying for skip tracing? Put it in the comments if you want. I've seen some of the prices. I see all the ads for it. How much should you guys pay for skip tracing? Because I got news for you. You have options now in 2025. In 2005, we didn't even have an option. You had to be like a private investigator. You had to basically be a debt collector to try to even get someone's phone numbers. Does everybody understand that? See, Andrew's got it. He's paying $0. So either you could do it manually, but you still got the old school way, cyberbackgroundschecks.com or truepeoplesearch.com, but we've come a long way since then. So let me update it. Sorry. It's up there. It's on the screen. The next one you guys need. You should have a dialer built into your software, all built in so you can be more efficient and automate through the phone calls, and you can drop voicemails, you can drop text, you can do anything you absolutely want. And guys, don't even get me started on the AI. We have AI Ninja here at XLeads. We're getting lazy, but you can just do voice prompts. You can just type in general things, and our technology is getting smarter and smarter the more you guys use the data, and it works real well. And then the last one, which is absolute critical piece, you should have an e-sign. You should have e-sign built into your software. No, did I tell you to go out and get a separate like e-sign count, the DocuSigns, all these other things? You guys are going to pay top dollar for that stuff. Are you a realtor? Or are you a wholesaler? Oh, and then the other thing is you should have email automation. Not only should you get the email, not only should you get the seller's email contact info, you should be able to automate it. Now, here's the good news, guys. Everything I've put on the screen right here is included in the XLeads. And the reason I do it is, yes, me and my son own XLeads, but here's the difference. It's founded by wholesalers, created by wholesalers. Go compare to anybody else. And most of you, for the most part, you're paying separate for your skip tracing, you're paying separate for your email, and you're paying separate for your follow-up on your CRM. So we have a Ninja Mode Go High Level. It's all built in there. But guys, listen, I just like be smart today. We didn't have this option. I've been through absolutely every iteration from 2005 to 2025. And I'm telling you, if you want to go catching, I can't make it simpler for you. You don't need another employee. You don't need a virtual assistant. I can't make this any cheaper for you. In fact, I know there's nobody can touch this with a 10-foot pole. If somebody has a service that can do all this for what XLeads does, please put it in the comments right now. I'm just stating facts. If you truly want to go out catching, now if you want to go fishing, go use all the other services. Pay your $5,000 up front, get in a program, people load it up on Zooms, and then buy into the Evergreen program. They'll be there forever for you. Nobody can ever do that. So why would I ever start off with a lie on a relationship? Data costs money. That's why there's a fee for it. It's not for everyone. I'm fine with it. But I'm just telling you, if we're going to go fishing, we have to understand how to do it. So any testimonies from XLeads, you got to be like, Chief, it's got one of the largest user bases in the United States for wholesalers. It is the fastest growing software, period. Why? Because it's an all-in-one tool. And you don't have to go out and have all these other services. And a lot of you guys were paying $500 to $1,000 a month. Oh, wait. Gee, I left something else out here. Not only will it do that, you ready for this? I can sit here all day doing this. It does Dispo. That's right. Now, you don't need it in the beginning. You have to go with the Pro plan or the X plan. But I got to tell you, You guys had to give an arm and a leg before we came out with X Leads to figure out how to do Dispo. Dispo is just data. All you do is harvest data and you make it as user-friendly for the user. So if you want to find a cash buyer and you're in Columbus, Ohio, and you're in South Florida like me, I can go inside of X Leads, click a button. I can find the flippers. I can find the landlords. I can find the note buyers. I can find the private money guys. I can click on a button. Not only do I get their email, I get their contact information, their name, everything. I get their phone number. I would pop it up here for you now, but YouTube's going to take it down. Someone will cry about it. And it's crazy. Now, we integrate your account with the CRM Go High Level through the Ninja mode. It's advanced. Most of you don't even need it off the bat, but the idea is, why not use a software you can grow in and make it work together with you as opposed to these ones? Guys, any of you guys using a software that does not include skip tracing, like seriously, I'm trying to save you money. I'm trying to help you out. I don't even sell X Leads. I just give you guys tremendous value and show you, hey, you're getting taken advantage of. It's all in here to get it done. And not only do that, we do a live every Saturday morning. Never ever miss it. And here's the difference is, call me CEO, call me whatever you want. I'm just here to help you out. And I have an entire support staff. I mean, we're hiring as fast as we humanly can. Why? Because everybody knows the value of X Leads. But guys, the bottom line is you have to learn how to fish, how to go from fishing to catching. And that is the big difference at what we want to do. But I will tell you, in like 2025, if I go from 2005, I'm here to tell you is, once you set your wholesale compass, use your wholesale finder. You know the fishing analogy I did. I think you guys kind of get the point. So there's a story to tell. What's changed? I believe sellers have too much information. So it's more important now that you develop a relationship with them and you prove their trust. In the old days, I want you to understand this. Trust wasn't as big of a deal. People assumed trust until you showed otherwise. Today's sellers, they don't trust anybody. And it is a much harder climb to get them to trust. Now, if you go over to freewholesaling.com, we show you how to do wholesaling, how to get the best deals, and how to forge a relationship with them. My technique's not for everyone. If you want to do PPL and just PPC, I'm probably not your guy. Why? Because those people don't want a relationship at all with you. They just want a number. And if you want to be a cash buyer and they tell you they're a wholesaler, just understanding that has nothing to do with wholesaling. Wholesaling has always been derived and founded on your ability to market, to find motivated sellers, to buy properties at deep discounts. End of story. I didn't say you're going to buy 100 properties a month. All these people tell you, we buy 40, we buy 50, we buy 60. It seems like the number grows every month. The reality is you consistently have to buy the deepest discounted properties that you can find and move forward. Who cares how many properties you do? You do one and out of the market. You do want to make $3,000. I'm proud of you. And that's what I want you guys to do. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to answer some questions. Guys, make sure you're hitting the likes so I can share that information actually very shortly here. And I want to help you guys out and show you how to do it. Now, freewholesaling.com, because I can't spend 40 hours teaching you wholesaling and an hour and a half live stream, is why it's there. It will answer most of your questions. Go there, guys. Go there. And by the way, for those of you that reach out to me, go, Rick, I tried wholesaling and stuff like that. I pull your account up while you're doing it, and I could tell you only consumed 8% of the content. I know why you're struggling. You got ADHD like me. You went in, you went out. It didn't interest you. If you had ADHD like me and you loved it, you would have gone through, you would have hit the 100% mark 3 times over in the first week. But that's up to you. I can't drag you there. Here's the reality, guys. Me and Zach give you the entire blueprint of how to win in wholesaling. I can't package the grind for you. What do I mean by the grind? You've got to go out and take tons and tons of action. And you're going to get your teeth kicked in quite a bit. Not physically. It's just, that's a metaphorical. Don't take me out of context on it. The reality is you got to go out and work. If I have 100 people do wholesaling, I usually get 5 to 7 that will just they go, man. They're like the old school wholesaler. I'm all in. I'm sticking it out. And then the other part of them is they try it. I didn't like the waters. It's too cold. It's a cold plunge. What did you expect? Think of wholesaling like a cold plunge. You put your toes in, it's going to suck. Just go all in, embrace it, and have a trust in the process. And if you truly want to change your life and you want to become free of your time and become financially free, you're going to have to cold plunge for 2 years, and it's going to take a while to get used to it. Who in here has done the cold plunge? Because I've been doing them probably the last 4 months. I got to tell you, the first 2 weeks, I felt like a rookie wholesaler. It hurt. It like physically hurts. But I will tell you, when I get through it, the rush you get after you get it, I can't even describe it. It's like, it's kind of addictive. I'm looking to get my own personal one. I just don't want to, I don't want to do it and get in and out of it like people do in wholesaling. So take my cold plunge analogy and commit to it. And if you'll do that, you could do all the catching you want. And if you don't, it is what it is. It's just the truth, guys. And that's the difference between someone who's going to sell you a course and someone who says, hey, go and do it. They go, okay, Rick, what's your buy-in for doing it? I don't know. I've been doing this 5 years. I just keep showing up. I am a disciplined sucker. I show up and I get it done. We've never missed a live stream. We always keep going. Even when we were in a crazy foreign country with Starlink on a boat, we tried like hell. It was one of the worst live streams we ever did, and it wasn't a try we did. It just didn't communicate back to you. And for that, I apologize, but we did record it and edit it and send it back to you. So let's jump on some comments. Let's answer your questions. Let's see if we can get up to the total likes. We're just about there. And we'll get it. Okay, hold on. I had one up here. What's up, Luna? I appreciate you. She's been winning with the Ginns for the last year. And guys, the amount of successes I've been emailed in my box, the testimonials, I'm one of the Ginns, we don't go out and go, hey, don't give me your testimonial. I need to broadcast it all over the world and take care of it. We invite you, if you want to do some podcasts for you to highlight the difference between doing a probate deal, the difference between doing the eviction list, the difference between a water shutoff deal, the difference on the different types of JVs, how you work with Zach on ZachDiscord.com, how you profited from using sellmypaper.com. And you guys love it, but I don't sell anything with it. See, that's the difference with me and most of the other people is, do you know there's entire people out there that they teach all their students, which are their coaches, is harvest that testimonial as fast as you can. Because the reality is they know one thing. When someone's excited, which I love when you guys get excited and do a deal, you're at your peak excitement. Peak excitement, you can take anything you want from someone. You can take their money. You can take their pride. You can remove their ego. You can take their dignity. You think I'm kidding? It's the absolute truth. Now, most people just take your money, but coaching's gone a lot further than that. I learned a long, long time ago. I watched people do videos for people that they didn't know. And you got to understand is you record it, it's on permanent record. What I'm trying to tell you is we don't chase you guys down around for it. You guys speak on your own because you're so grateful for the course and the opportunity. You just run with it. And I appreciate people just like Lunar, just like that understand how to make the best of what they could do at freewholesaling.com. And that's what we want you to do. So let me jump on some more comments here. And guys, keep smashing that like because I'm close. I'm going to do it in just a couple minutes here. Answer a couple more questions. Gomez says he's got a quick question. You got to put the question in the comment. Saying I got a quick question is not a question. And Dylan gives you like a learning cue here right here, man. Just jump in. Stop trying, man. Anything you try, like sometimes my wife goes, "Will you do this?" I go, I catch myself something that I'll try, and she knows my code word. She goes, "No, you're not going to try. You're going to do, Rick. You're going to do." And so my teachings come back to haunt me sometimes. And guys, listen to carefully what people tell you. if they say they're going to try, listen to them. It means I'll make an attempt, but if it doesn't work out, it's not on me, it's on you. And that's the part I hate about it. So um, you've got to understand how that works. Um, let's see. I have one here. Dietrich, for some reason, I can't pop up your comment, but I see your comment. There's no contracts in my X leads. So the contracts are going to be inside your school account in freewholesaling.com. The contract's right there. You can click on it. It will be under the acquisition sections, and it's all right there. And what you have to do is import that and just bring it into your contracts under templates in your X Leads account. Now, you can do it. You got two ways. You could do it inside of X Leads. You can also do it inside your Ninja mode, which you have full access in your X Leads account. The reason we don't put it there is because not everybody wants to use those contracts. And so that's why our mass teaching is at freewholesaling.com. And not only that, you can put your assignment of contract in there. And so all the templates, everything you're going to do, because school's a little bit more robust as far as teaching. And we like to use that platform because we enjoy working with Alex. It's a good one. So, but I appreciate the comment. If you have any other problems, just reach out to our support staff. You can send an email or you can even do a phone call anytime Monday through Friday. So don't forget that. So what was my other question here? I got multiple people saying I want to ask a question. You got to ask the question. So here's somebody, Cardi's looking for his first deal. I love when people just go out and put risk out there, and I want to reward him. So anybody know Cardi? He's looking in Florida and Arizona. So give him a shout out. So, okay, let's see here. I got to look up the like tally. I'm missing 3 more. I got to get 3 more and we go from it. Let's see. Got it. So my suggestion, if you need help with the Ninja mode inside of X Leads, the best way to do it is really start at the X Leads YouTube channel and then work your way back. And then I put on the bottom, if you go over to zachdiscord.com, and there's an entire section on X Leads. There's some ninja masters out there that will help you out phenomenally. And those are the 2 places to start. Remember, you always have the support. You can put in an email. Every ticket gets answered. Let me repeat to you, every ticket gets answered because we're growing so fast because there's nothing like it at X Leads. I'm hiring people as fast as I humanly can. It does take time to train them, and bear with us, guys. We're getting to the tickets as fast as we humanly can. So check it out at, I put it on the bottom there, zachdiscord.com. So, okay, so let's figure this out. 2 more likes and I'll share it with you. If you're new on the stream, you just hopped on, I'm bribing you guys with likes to give you the code violations in a certain part of Ohio. And I will tell you exactly how you can go find this on your own as soon as you get off the live stream. And then you can see if your city, county/state is going to be on this list, because it's a really cool list. And you know how we like to bring, I hate the word value. I hate the word secret. I hate the word value. I hate the word try. Value is always perceived in your mind. I can't tell you what your value is. So I can just give you the best version of Rick and Zach, and then you decide what you want to assimilate to it. I could easily charge for this list, but I'd rather just kind of give it away. So I'm going to, 1 more like, guys, and I'm there. So Platinum says, Flip with Rick, got my first contract signed using FSBO. That's great. And remember, I said FSBO is not the easiest way, so I give you even more credit, because you definitely have what it takes to do wholesaling, to stick out FSBOs, because they can be difficult. Okay. I got you. I'm just bribing you guys for more likes. So, okay. So here's what we're going to do. So for clarity, I can't put it on the screen because YouTube will shut down my video instantly due to privacy policies, because everybody's information will pop up there. So what I'm going to do is tell you right now how to navigate to get the code violation list. Now, the one I'm giving away right now is going to be in Columbus, Ohio. So if you understand that, you can go in there and you can look. And every month, we're just going to keep updating and spotlight a city that we believe that's great on code violations. So it's real simple, guys. All you need to do is go over to freewholesaling.com. Everybody knows how to do that, right? If you're new to there, you just got to register. You just got to put in your email. I've made it so simple. And if I ask for a credit card, you're not in the right site. Everybody hear me. I'm only going to ask for your email so I can communicate with you. So you go in there, you put in your email, you register. Bam. I know that was challenging. Hey, welcome to wholesaling. Now, step number 2, you're going to go into the classroom section. Everybody understand that. Once you're in the classroom section, jump to the marketing module. You'll see the screens popped up. You're going to click on the marketing module, and then all I want you to do is click on government list, and you'll see the code violation, see the cheat. And if you go down on the right, you'll see the government list for the month, and it'll be Columbus, Ohio. And if you're smart, you can navigate through all the cities we've brought online through our entire staff. Now, this is a constantly changing things. They go up and down. I remember, I don't control the data. I'm just trying to give it away to you. And this is how you guys go out catching. So if you're tired of fishing, you're tired of searching on MLS, you're tired of doing strategies that really have nothing to do with wholesaling, welcome to freewholesaling.com. And guys, while you're there, it's a completely updated course. You can find out anything you want. I put it on the bottom there. It's freewholesaling.com. I can't make it any easier for you. Once again, go to the marketing section, click on the government list part, and you'll see the government list of the month, which is going to be Columbus, Ohio. And then if you're good with the computer, you can navigate through, and you'll see a map where all the areas where we linked it in there, and you can find out any of them. So so guys, if you got ninja questions, please reach out to our support team. They'll help you. I can't answer all these on here. I appreciate you. Thanks, James. I appreciate you. Once again, freewholesaling.com. Go to the marketing section, click on the government list, and do the list of the month. And you'll have Columbus, Ohio, and you'll see all the other cities we have up there. So, guys, I appreciate you. Love you immensely. I hope you understand the difference between fishing and catching. Fishing is wholesaling. Catching is actually taking deals down using assignment of contract. That's what we want you to do. Guys, get it. We appreciate you. And I'll see you guys on Thursday. So, guys, check us out at freewholesaling.com. We're in there. We're active. We want to help you out.